Welcome to Final Expense Telesales. I'm Dana Neeson. Today we're going to talk about listening for the clues. Listen for the clues. These are going to open up the window for unscripted conversation. It can only happen through asking what's called a clarifying question. We're going to talk about what clarifying questions are, how they're asked, when to ask them, because you're not going to find them on your script because they're only generated through the answers that your customer is giving you. All that today. Stick around. If you are just now finding this channel, again, my name is Dana Neeson. I run a telesales team for Tailored Legacy. We sell final expense insurance over the phone with just one carrier, and my job is to try and help you have stronger, more sophisticated sales conversations. So today's topic is all about the unscripted questions, listening for the clues and asking clarifying questions. Now, what do I mean by that? The unscripted questions. Well, you probably have a script. On your script, it probably has a list of questions. And if you are new or struggling or haven't really understood why you're asking these questions, you are more likely going to be an interrogator on your conversations, and you're going to ask the question, get an answer. Ask a question, get an answer. Ask a question, get an answer. Sound familiar? Your conversations might sound something like, let me see. So question, answer. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Next question. Question. Answer. Oh, yeah, of course. That makes sense. I gotcha. Next question. Okay. If you're listening back to your calls and that's what your conversations sound like, you are stopping at the surface level answers. The number one thing you have to always remember is when you ask a question, your customers 99.9% of the time are going to give you the least amount of information possible, the surface level answer to your question, because they don't know you. They don't trust you. They're trying to figure it out. They're trying to, just get a price and run away. And it's our job to get them to expand on their surface level answers. What does that also do? It causes them to lower their guard, because the more we can get our customers to talk, the more relaxed they'll feel. And I'm not talking about getting them to talk about the weather and how many kids they have and where do they live and how often do you see them and all that nonsense. That is not pushing the conversation forward in the direction that we need it to push forward, because it's not giving us the information we need to understand how to help them, right? And helping them is figuring out where someone is compared to where they want to be, figuring out where that needs gap is, where is the pain, and knowing how to close that gap. Okay, so here are a couple of examples. You're going to get a question. You're going to ask a question like, what caused you to inquire, or why now? Which is a great question. The surface level answer was, well, I'm on disability and I thought it wasn't a bad idea. Okay, surface level answer. Now, you have two paths to go here. Path one is, yeah, of course, it's never a bad idea to get life insurance and put protection in place. Next question. That's the direction that this conversation chose to go in, which is wrong. You want to take those surface level answers that you get and dig deeper. So, well, I'm on disability and I thought it wasn't a bad idea. Oh, okay. Not a bad idea? Can you tell me more about that? Or, what do you mean by it's not a bad idea? Or, not a bad idea? Right? Just repeat it back to them in the form of a question. And just get them to clarify on what in the heck they mean by that, instead of pretending you know what they mean by that, just so that you can go ask your next question. Whatever expanded answer they give you to the clarifying question you're asking is only going to give you more information. You're only going to learn something about your client, which is only going to help. Right? There's nothing wrong with asking someone to clarify what they mean when they say something. In fact, it actually makes you sound genuinely curious to understand what they meant by their answer. Another example, you ever had insurance before? But it was like a long time ago, like maybe 20 years ago. Okay? Surface level answer to to a very easy question. Now, you don't just take that at face value and go to the next question. The unscripted questions, the ones that will provide you the most value, are the ones that are unscripted. And they're unscripted because they can only come from the answers that your customers give you in the first place. So back to that answer. Yeah, I had insurance, but it was a long time ago. It was 20 years ago. Here's some examples of things I want to know. Oh, what happened to that policy? Why did you let it go? How much coverage did that policy provide? Are you looking for that much coverage now, or has that changed for you? So you've been without coverage for 20 years now. I guess, what about now? Has you thinking that now's the right time to put something in place? That's literally 4 questions from one answer. You should be able to ask at least 2 clarifying questions from a surface level answer, because more information is going to lead to more clarifying, which will lead to more clarifying. That is what people mean when they say dig deep. It is about getting surface level information and clarifying what they meant by it. Here's another example. What expenses are you concerned about your family having to pay for when you pass away? Well, I'd like to leave some money to my grandkids. Well, what about the funeral? Yes, the funeral is important to me too. Would you like a burial or cremation? Cremation. Okay, so that's the information we have. Now, if you're selling final expense insurance and you hear cremation, are you just going to take that information and run with it without really understanding what the customer meant by, I'd like to leave some money for my grandkids? No. The conversation that I heard was, I'd like to leave a little bit if I can. A little bit was the word he used. We don't know what a little bit means. So you clarify. Just use the words that they say. So I heard you say you'd like to leave a little bit. What is a little bit to you? How many grandkids do you have? How much would you like to be able to leave each grandkid if you could? What about your kids? Are you hoping to leave them something extra as well? In this conversation, the client had 4 grandkids and 2 kids. What if he said he'd like to be able to leave $10,000 apiece for each of them? Well, now you're at $60,000 before you even talk about the funeral expenses. Wouldn't you want to know that information before educating them on how much coverage they may or may not be able to afford? So these are just 3 examples on how you take surface level answers, ask clarifying questions to dig deeper, learn more, and understand where somebody is coming from so you can learn how to help them and really move the conversation forward. Thanks so much for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a like, post a comment if you have something that you'd like to share, or if you have a question to ask. If you want information on how to join my team, my contact information is in the description below, and I will see you on another training video this week. Thanks so much.